Okay. Uh, wow. It's a very surreal time for me. So I'm gonna try my best to be very honest with this review. If you don't have time, free your time. Make sure to watch this whenever you have some time. Uh, get some snacks. We're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna talk about the film. I'm gonna talk about as honestly as I can about my position on a lot of things about Michael Jackson, both as a human, as an artist, and pardon me, today my voice is not in best shape. I've been ill the past couple of days, bedridden for a number of days, really really bad. And I'm back to recovery now, but just please pardon my voice. It might not be my voice is not at its best shape at the moment. So I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to do this review. It's about time. I've waited for this movie for so long, you guys. Basically my whole life I've been waiting for this film. Did it live up to what I wanted it to be? It did not. But that doesn't mean I don't have good things to talk about and I don't have bad things to talk about. It's a bit of both. It's certainly an incomplete film. I do not consider this a completed film. Again, I'm gonna try my best, guys, to be very honest about this film. Um, and I'm gonna discuss, yeah, about the good, about the bad. About how I feel about both his controversies and his successes and how this film portrayed those aspects. And again, I promise to be very real and honest. So let's get started. Some of the fans we've already known, things we've heard, and what his brothers have said about the performance and the people who worked on set, sorry. Believe me when I tell you, when you see it in the film, I don't think any of even the trailers do justice on how incredible Jafar is in this role. And this is really the highlight of the film to me. The film is more, I do not even feel it's much of a biopic. I think it's more of a celebration of Michael Jackson as an artist and as a human being. Um, Unfortunately, it will not please a lot of people, and with good reason. And I understand why, to some people, this is not going to be the movie that they hoped it would be, because it really does lack in a lot of the things that one would consider to be a satisfactory biographical look into somebody's life. And this film this is not what this is. And this is not even a film that I would, if somebody wanted to know about Michael Jackson, this is not a film to watch to get to know about Michael Jackson. It's not the film to tell you the story of Michael Jackson, and it does go into those aspects, but it's more of a celebratory outlook of highlights of Michael's life. But on the other hand, I'm reading my notes now. The performances are incredible all around. Michael's relationship with Joe Jackson is explored in this film in a very honest way, and this is one of the things I was worried about, that it was going to be sanitized. Like, oh, they're definitely not going to show the abuse that Michael went through as a child from his dad, the physical abuse. They do touch on it, and they do even show some of that. They do not show it in the extent of the reality of how harsh it really was, and to the extent it went towards. But they don't shy away from it, which is important, I think. They also do a really good job, and this was important to me. They do show a human side to Michael, and they kind of try to make you understand as to why is Michael so fascinated about childish things and children's stuff, and why is he surrounding himself with toys, and why. So this is a behavior that kind of weirds people out, and I understand why it does. And I understand Michael on a level that's very personal to me, because I'm very much in touch with my side as well, but I'm able to differentiate. I think I'm very much able to differentiate where the time for that is as an adult, because when you become an adult, there is a time where you have to say childlike, but not childish. There's a balance to be found between the two, and actually, I want to read a quote. The real goal is not to remain a child forever. The goal is to become an adult who remembers how to fly. This quote, I think, perfectly captures what it's all about when it comes to keeping in touch with your child nature, which Jesus said, whoever the greatest in the king, whoever of you humbles himself as a little child is the greatest among you, is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So this is where Michael got really, I think, really misunderstood. And he was a big kid. He was really a big child. And the movie opens, and this is not a spoiler because this is how the movie opens up. But the movie opens up with Michael looking out the window at the children playing right before his dad says, "Michael, get back in line." So this really kind of illustrates what was kind of missed from Michael's childhood. And unfortunately, it really hurt Michael in the sense that because he didn't have enough time to play as a child, or as much time that he needed to as a child. When he became an adult and he was able to afford a lot of these things, afford to buy the expensive toys and all and so forth, he really tried to relive the magic of childhood, which is beautiful, which is wonderful. And I think we live at a very interesting time now that I think it's easier for the world, I think, and I hope, to understand a part of Michael's psyche than ever before, because there are so many people in the world right now today that are big kids, that are like, it's kind of a new fashion thing now, fashion statement, to kind of to collect toys and to go to Disneyland as an adult. And it's not so frowned upon, I think, as it would have been 20 years ago or 30, 40 years ago. So these are the things that I was happy to see in the film, that they do show, at least they try, and they show Michael's love for children, and like he sympathizes with the people in the hospital after he himself is a victim of getting his scalp burned in the Pepsi commercial. So yeah, I do want to say though, to get back to the negatives of the film, is that this is a film made for people that are already familiar with a big portion of Michael Jackson's life. It's more of a celebration rather than a detailed biographical look at the life of Michael Jackson. So I wouldn't show this film to someone who knows nothing about Michael Jackson. But again, my goodness, Jafar Jackson's voice is hauntingly exact, identical almost to the real Michael Jackson. It's truly amazing. And we do get a fair share of performances, But yeah, guys, unfortunately, I think I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed to see how rushed so many of the elements were. Like the creative process, I don't think was as well delved into. There's only one moment in the film that I felt, they're trying to show his creative side a little bit here, which was the beaded sequence. Or like, for example, Thriller, I think they showed the making of, but it was like a highlight reel. A lot of this film feels like a highlight reel. If you're there to experience the making of Thriller and the making of Bad and the making of this, and we're gonna get to see the behind the scenes of how Michael came up with this stuff, and it's like, no, it's like, and now he makes Thriller, and okay, now this is where he makes Bad, and it's like boom, boom. It's like, it's very much like handled like a highlight reel. And I was like very disappointed in that. So I can't even say that this is more of a a highlight, a celebratory highlight of Michael Jackson as an artist, but it's not a film that biographically takes apart the making of Michael and all that. It does, but it's very much rushed. This film is made strictly for people like me that grew up with Michael Jackson. Yeah, man, I understand why this biopic is heavily criticized. Do want to say though, and I do want to stress this, the reason that the movie ends where it ends, this movie ends around the 1980s, late 80s actually, right before the Dangerous era begins. And many people have said that, oh, this movie just ends right before the allegations started. And it's like, well, yeah, it's important to realize what happened with this movie behind the scenes, because the filmmakers wrote an entire span where they cover between the 50s, Jackson 5, all the way to the allegations and to the 90s, to the Dangerous tour. So as far as I'm concerned, I think the movie was supposed to end even after the Dangerous tour, like from the 90s, nearly the 2000s. So this movie was not supposed. It was supposed to cover the entirety of the allegation period, where Michael Jackson was sadly accused of sexually assaulting children, which is, there is nothing worse that any man or any human being could possibly be accused of than something as horrific as that. And Michael Jackson was accused of these crimes. Whether or not he was guilty is a totally different subject that has been debated and will be debated, I think, for the until the I think forever. And I think it's very important that we look at both sides of the coin. Both sides of the coin. Let me be very clear about that. And it's very difficult. It's very understandable for me as a fan, or people who watch me, to assume, of course you're gonna support Michael Jackson. Of course you're gonna do whatever you can. But I just want to say right now, from the bottom of my heart and from as honest as I possibly can be, I when the allegations were coming out for the second round back in 2019, with this new people came on and said, oh yeah, Michael Jackson inappropriately abused me as a child. I said to myself, you know what? If this is true, I was ready to take down all the posters on my wall. I was ready. I'm going to embrace it. I'm not gonna support a person that did these heinous crimes to children. But if it came to a point where the evidence really did show that, oh my goodness, Michael Jackson really was also this terrible human being that did these terrible crimes, then I would have to stop myself from engaging in, as a person, I would still have to kind of really distance myself from Michael Jackson as an artist. And I want to ask the people watching, I beg you, please take if you're somebody who feels disgusted by the crimes, by the allegations, by all the things that have been said about Michael Jackson that he did to these children, which I don't think he did, but please bear with me. I'll explain why I don't think he did. I don't think he did because the evidence that exists is, the more you look into it, honestly, the more you're like, yeah, like it really does seem that the scale weights to the point where clearly this man was framed for money. They were trying to portray this image of Michael Jackson, and the media has has really been maliciously after the image of Michael Jackson, trying to tarnish and portray Michael Jackson as a totally different human being, and all around, I think Michael Jackson has sort of become a caricature character sometimes, where we think of Michael Jackson and we think of this this guy, like Michael kind of became what Elvis became. When people think of Elvis, they think of like this over the top dude on stage with the all white and the big clothes and all that. there's a separation of the human from the superstar. And I think Michael Jackson is a person that really truly deserves to be studied, and people need to hear Michael talk about, defend himself as well. Here's what I'm going to do with this review though, and what I've decided to do, which I think I haven't seen anybody do this in any other review. So what I'm going to do with this review, at the very end of this review, I'm going to include a few clips of Michael Jackson himself talking about some of these things, some of the things that people say about him, and how they portray him in the media, but calling him a freak. Michael saw himself as a protector of children, as somebody who had the opportunity to use his art to inspire children and be there for children and help the children in need. Michael had a real heart for the children who suffered in the world, children suffering in the world. He would visit hospitals every tour. A lot of the money he would make from the tours, many of those times he would literally give all the money away to children's hospitals. So, and there's material out there where Michael talks about it, and you get to hear let's hear his side of the story for once. So this is what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is, at the end of this review, guys, I'm just going to include a series of videos where it's Michael Jackson himself talking about his love for children, about the allegations against him, about what I think are false allegations that have a motive behind them to paint a picture of this man, of this kind man. And it's really sad what's happened to Michael Jackson, man. It's something it hurts me, because I really do think that this was somebody who really tried to make a difference with his power. Here's a man who uses his wealth and fame and trying to do something, and he gave so much of his wealth to help these children. And sadly, the world we live in is not built to process this level of kindness. I think people are not even mentally ready to believe that somebody could be doing so much. I'm presuming now, by the way, could be doing so much. And my heart is so close, I think, to Michael's, where I have a heart for people, the poor and people suffering. I'm also a Christian myself, and so these things are very important to me and very close to my heart. And I've seen what it's like. I've gotten a taste, especially in the recent years of my life, of how people mock kindness sometimes, and they take it the wrong way, or they question how you behave, because why are you being so kind? Why are you it's a very tough part of the human experience, the human psyche. And part of me, you know what it is? Part of me gets it too. Part of me you can't be too kind sometimes. There are, and this is where I disagree with Michael, and it hurts me to say this, where I think sometimes he was way too kind to the wrong people, and I think he trusted the wrong people, and a lot of people ended up taking advantage of him because of this kindness. I don't think kindness is wrong, and I don't think what he did for children and the charity work that he did is wrong. But I think, unfortunately, because of the way the society that we live in, people are going to always tend to think of the negative of it all. In a court of law, this is what we do. We do not judge based on how we feel or what it looks like or what it is. It's about, where does the evidence lead us to? And there's going to be a second part. I think that the director said they want to do a second part. The actor who plays Michael Jackson, Jafar Jackson, said that they're going to make a second part. So we are going to see how they're going to handle part 2. We had a really amazing time. And then I went to see it a second time the next day, which was yesterday, and with a bunch of fans. And as fans in the theater, this movie was great. We sang together, we enjoyed the film. So that's what this is. It's like a culmination celebration for Michael. It's a celebratory film. It's not so much a biographical film. Even though it is a biography and it goes through the motions of Michael's life, I don't think it covers it as in as much a detail as a lot of people want, and a lot of people are going to be disappointed, including myself. I was disappointed. But I think Jafar's performance is out of this world. It really felt like I was looking at Michael Jackson and I got goosebumps all around. What makes me the most happy about this film as a fan, there's a moment where Michael undergoes the Pepsi accident where his hair catches on fire and his scalp is so horribly burned. Which, by the way, this part in the film is done really well. Really, really well. It's extremely well done. And there's this moment where, so it's kind of like Michael he found an opportunity to kind of sympathize with another person that's going through what he's going through with his burned scalp in that moment. So there was something to me, there was something very spiritual about that moment that really made me very emotional. It's like, that's who Michael Jackson was. That was beside the stardom, and this is what I was worried about. I was worried about this film that it was just gonna be Michael Jackson the superstar, and Michael Jackson the greatest of all time, Michael Jackson the superstar, and I wanted this film to show the side of Michael that cared about people and children. He wanted to bring this magic and this spark into people's lives. And just that moment, those are the moments that saved the movie for me. It's a movie made for the fans strictly made for the fans. And if anything, it was a glimpse as to kind of giving people a look as to why Michael was the way he was in a lot of ways. Thank you guys so much for sticking for this review. I hope you get to learn something new about Michael Jackson and how much of an amazing artist he was, and most importantly to me, what an incredible human being and a great example he was to all of us. I think the world has so much to learn from this man. So here's Michael in his own words.
I do as many hospitals as I do concerts. I do as many orphanages as I do concerts. But because it's good news, the press don't cover it. They want bad news. But I do it from my heart. I don't do it to wave a flag and say, look at me. We bring bags of toys and posters and albums, and you should see how it transforms these kids. They jump up and down and they're so happy. This is Lisa Marie and myself at a hospital in Budapest. And I saw this little kid. His name was Farkas. He was very sick. He was green in the face, but he had this glow and this sparkle in his eye. I asked this nurse, what's wrong with this kid? She said that he needs a liver. So I said, does that mean he's gonna die? She said, yes, he's gonna die unless he gets a liver. I said, I'm not gonna let him die, this sweet, sweet angel. No matter what it takes, I'm going to find a liver for him. So I sent my organization around the world. We went all over the place, and it took a long time. And I said, I'm not giving up. I'm not going to have this child die. I was so happy when I got a phone call. They told me we found the liver, and he has his life. And I'm so proud that I could help him. God bless him. I love you, Farkas. I would never stop helping and loving people the way Jesus said to. He said, continue to love, always love. Bring on the children, imitate the children. Not childish, but childlike. I am not going to do anything sexual to a child. It's not where my heart is. I would slit my wrist first. I would never do anything like that. That's not Michael Jackson, I'm sorry. That's someone else.
I ask all of you to wait and hear the truth before you label or condemn me. Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent.
Before I would hurt a child, I would slit my wrists. I would never hurt a child. This is totally false. I was outraged. I could never do something like that. And giraffes and crocodiles and every kind of tigers and lions, and we have busloads of kids who don't get to see those things. They come up, sick children, and enjoy it. They enjoy it in a pure, loving, fun way. It's people with a dirty mind that think like that. I don't think that way. That's not me. People write negative things because they feel that's what sells. Good news to them doesn't sell.
Me.
Yes.
There was nothing that matched me to those charges.
There was nothing. There was nothing that concurred.
That's why I'm
Nothing?
sitting here
There was
talking to you
nothing.
today. There was not one iota of information that was found that could connect me.
So when we've heard
these
that there was
charges.
a marking
Nothing.
of some kind,
They did it to try and belittle me, to try to take away my pride. But I went through the whole system with them, and at the end, I wanted the public to know that I was okay, even though I was hurting.
If it wasn't for children, I would throw in the towel. I would kill myself. I wouldn't care to live. They give me my inspiration. They inspire me. Everything I do, every song I write, the dance, everything that I do. They tried to use it against me, and it's just been so unfair, and I'm very upset about it, you know. I would slit my wrist before I would. Yeah. I could never, ever. I would love to live in London because I love it so much. It's just the press is so hard on me here, and I try to do so good. I go to their hospital, I give presents to the children. As soon as I leave, the next day they go, Wacko Jacko left the hospital and he ignored all the children. And it hurt my heart because I purposely flew Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse all the way from Euro Disney. I brought them with me to surprise the children. I brought
Is that right on the street now?
Yeah, I brought bags of presents and everything, and I spent time with the kids, and they made fun of me. I'm just a person who want to be honest and do good and make people happy and give them the greatest sense of escapism through the talent that God has given me, you know? That's where my heart is. It's all I want to do. That's all. I just want to say, look, leave me alone and let me do what I want to do, which is share and give and put a smile on people's face and make their heart feel happy.
I ask all of you to wait and hear the truth before you label or condemn me. Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent.